Alright, you know what I started to realize? What if we compared Toy Story 3's hype to the Phantom Menace's hype? And why did Toy Story 3 succeed while the Phantom Menace sank? I'll tell you a few reasons. Number one, Pixar at that time didn't fuck up. They didn't know the definition of fucking up. They made solid film after solid film, and it was so amazing what Pixar was able to do. Okay, but let's look at Pixar's origin for a few minutes. Where did Pixar start? Well, Apple had something to do with it, but George Lucas had something to do with Pixar's success. Because John Lasseter worked with George Lucas, maybe on Return of the Jedi, I'm not entirely sure. I think he worked on ILM for a little bit, and it's like without George in a way, we may not have had Toy Story. So, when the Phantom Menace came out, it had all this hype. Everyone was like, yeah, new Star Wars, new Star Wars, fuck yeah, yeah, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, yeah. And then they saw it. No, it couldn't have sucked. No, this is Star Wars, it can't suck, it can't suck. Then they saw it again. This is the worst fucking thing I've seen in my life. Fuck! You know? And it was hyped up for 17 years, you know? It had like a worse fate than Toy Story did, you know? So then, well, not a worse fate, let me say that. What happened, I think, was that Toy Story had more of a following than Star Wars did. Let's go to Toy Story and Star Wars. How they revolutionized film. They are two of the most influential films and groundbreaking movies ever in cinema. I mean that. They're some of the most groundbreaking movies ever. And I am not taking that back. So let's look at Toy Story 3, from my standpoint. When Toy Story 1 came out, I wore out an old I had this VHS tape, right? I watched Toy Story 1 so many freaking times that it broke. I remember watching it one time, and right at the scene where Buzz is jumping off the balcony, the railing, it's to some stupid golf show, I think. And then we had to get a new one, and then my more obsession with Toy Story went on. But then it was like, what was after Toy Story? Who the fuck remembers, really? Because after Toy Story, 4 years later, I guess, we got Toy Story 2. Everyone was like, this is better than the other. This is better than the last one. Holy fucking shit. It was Bug's Life that came out after Toy Story. Who the hell remembered Bug's Life after Toy Story 2? Who? No one, pretty much. Because Toy Story 2 was so good, so incredible, so groundbreakingly badass and awesome, that it was a shock. And then, after Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc. came out. And after that, Finding Nemo came out. Then after that, The Incredibles came out. And I'm guessing right around when Monsters Inc. came out, I was like, there's no way they're going to do a Toy Story 3. I mean, yeah, we got Buzz Lightyear Star Command, which is in Toy Story, sort of, but come on, is that it? Is that all we're going to get for a Toy Story movie? No, we got Toy Story 3, and I remember seeing it on a Pixar documentary. I was like, holy shit. I tell all my friends about it. I went to my lunches, I said, you know there's going to be a Toy Story 3. I'm like, what? What? And then I saw the trailer, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is the two films I remember. I saw the movie. One of the best films I've ever seen in my life. Let's think about what Toy Story 3 could have been. It could have pulled the Phantom Menace, meaning it couldn't have lived up to the hype like the Phantom Menace did. But it didn't suck. It expanded on the universe of Toy Story, and it did so many things. It brought a satisfying end, and I loved it for doing that. I'm not looking forward to Toy Story 4. Leave it as it is. So then we got George Lucas and Star Wars. So the Phantom Menace, like I said, was like, ooh yeah! And then it was like the biggest fuck you. It's one of the biggest fuck yous in history, I think, you know? So then after that, the entire prequel trilogy started to get worse. Except for 3. 3 was pretty cool, but it wasn't like 4, 5, and 6, which were fucking amazing. You know, and then it's like, well, what's going to be next, huh? Then we get the Clone Wars. Alright, I've had enough with Star Wars. Could you ever think for a single fucking minute that anyone could say, I've had enough with Star Wars? I think up until the Phantom Menace, no one thought you could say that about Star Wars, you know? And like I said, Toy Story 3 could have been like the Phantom Menace. It could have been such a huge disappointment. And some people will say, well, I like the Phantom Menace. I thought it was a good movie. It is nowhere. I'm going to make one thing fucking clear. The Phantom Menace is nowhere near as good as A New Hope. It's not as groundbreaking as A New Hope. It is not as revolutionary as A New Hope. And it doesn't do anything new or interesting that New Hope gave cinema. It is a coffee stain on cinematic history. You know what I'm going to end this review with? Or this rant with? George Lucas, I feel bad for you. I feel bad that Star Wars has been your legacy and you couldn't direct any other films after it. I love Star Wars. I love the original trilogy. Why tamper with that? Why tamper with something so amazing, so groundbreaking, something that got you nominated for Best Picture of 1977, for the love of God? Why would you tamper with that, man? Are you a fucking lunatic now? You must be, George. You must be a fucking lunatic at this point. You know, it's probably all about the profit. And I also saw, like, Cars 2. And Cars 2, I think, biggest fuck you since the Phantom Menace. My message to John Lasseter: don't ever take the route that George Lucas is taking. What George Lucas is taking is sitting on his ass, telling people to end up those great movies that everyone held to their hearts dearly. Don't, John Lasseter, don't you ever re-edit Toy Story. I don't want no fucking special edition. I don't want no tweaking of the model. I don't want no tweaking of the human character. I don't want any of that shit. Alright? Don't fuck with Toy Story. Ever. Or else there will be tons of fans who will go apeshit insane on you. That's all I have to say in this 9-minute rant. Have a nice day, everyone.